Alright guys, this is Chaos Within, and welcome back to part 7 of my Shadowlands leveling guide. So as you saw here, in the last episode we turned in the quest back in that little town, popping the Radinax to go all the way over here to turn in the next quest and start one of the final parts of this zone. So in this area it's really important to think about that some of these mobs does a lot of damage. Some of them do a spell called Wild Flail, which is an AoE around them, which does insane damage. If you get hit by like 3 of them at the same time, you might just die. You see this like swirly on the ground, does the damage. Just kind of gotta watch out for that. But if you're just a bit cautious, there should be no issue to do big pulls in. So anyway, what you have to do is there's 3 places you have to investigate a little thing. You have to kill these mobs and loot stolen mementos, 10 of them. I think they have about 50% drop chance, so you kind of have to kill quite a few mobs to get all of the ones you need. And then the final quest, you have to loot 40 plundered anima. It's these little baskets on the ground. And I believe the route I'm taking this town is the most efficient one, because you go to multiple places where you can do big pulls. As you can see here, this is a pretty scary pull. You see my HP going down a bit, but I'm running with the big darkness PP talent that makes my darkness reduce damage by 50%, or chance to avoid damage by 50% rather than just 20%. So it is pretty... you can see I dealt with that big pull pretty fast, or pretty easy. So now he's running around, looting all of these things. I'm kind of unlucky with how many things I'm looting here. Usually the big baskets drop a bit more, and I think it's random if the baskets spawn as small or big. Usually I'm almost done with this quest after I've done this big pull up here. I looted everything, but yeah. Unfortunately that's not the case here. But I'm still not done with the kill quest, so I'm still gonna have to kill a few more to loot the final stolen mementos. And maybe I'm going a little bit big on the pulls at start, since I'm still getting done with the kills and looting these things before I get done with clicking on the shrines or whatever. So I might just do a little bit smaller pulls at start, but I still think it's worth it, because I'm like the size of the pull, like if I go past 5 mobs, the time doesn't really change that much on how fast I kill stuff. So if I'm going big, I'm just trying to go as big as I can, because it's in the end it's still extra XP as well. And I think I forgot to loot a few mobs down there, but I think these mobs up here will give the last mementos I need. Yeah, so here I'm done with everything. Still end up doing this quest pretty fast. So now we're going up on this bridge in the middle and kill this guy that looks like the last boss from Wakerest Manor. So what you do here is, if you have a lot of cooldowns ready, you don't want to blow everything on this guy, because as you see I'm moving up. I'm gonna go up even further here on the next quest, and I'm gonna kill this wall here so I can loot the thing inside, which has kind of a lot of HP as well. So but yeah, I don't have any cooldowns here, but I still kill it kind of fast, so it's kind of fine. But generally I want to use the hunt or met on one and the hunt on the other, pretty much, or like met on one, pot on the other. But now I used meta and pot on the guy down there, so it went a little bit slower. As you also can see here, I need to refresh my buff food. I think I'm gonna do it once I get back to the town. So once you're done with that quest, you're gonna fly around here. I just shoot all the mobs. I think I mess up a little bit here. At some points I forget to use it on cooldown, or I click on it but it doesn't go out. You can see here it took a few seconds between the shots. But it doesn't matter all too much. Like no matter what you do, this quest is not really gonna slow you down too much, even if you miss some shots or forget to use a few shots. But obviously for me, I'm gonna have to make sure I don't mess anything up. Yeah, there it happened again. I thought I clicked it, but it didn't go off, so... But here I'm done. So flying back to town now. I think I'm gonna be refreshing my buff food down there. Definitely messed up with the buff food, because there were a few points in the last hour where I could have refreshed it. But that I didn't think about. So anyway, now we're getting to a part where the Gunshoes and Radinax control gems are super important. So now it's basically 3 little mob hubs outside, like on different sides of this town. Anyway, there I refreshed the buff with the flask. But yeah, so here you see I'm deleting the Radinax, picking up a new one, because you're gonna see right here, in this place, you're gonna be moving a lot. And here you can save a lot of time with the Radinax and the Gunshoes and everything. So you're basically gonna click 2 Dream Shrines, which are on opposite sides of the town. You're gonna rescue 8 of these trapped Spirit Tenders. So what I'm doing here is I'm spotting multiple here. So I pull all the mobs that are around each of them. And you get this extra spell that you can use with your macro. That does AoE damage around you with little cost time. But yeah, so you see, I kill these mobs, go around, loot all of these Spirit Tenders. And now, as you see, I walked up to the Dream Shrine. I spot a few more of these Spirit Tenders. So I'm gonna be killing this one solo, and then looting it. And then up here. So what you're gonna see me do here, I put these 3 mobs. And I kill them, and then I loot this Dream Tender, or Spirit Tender. And now, after this, I click the portal. So what happens now is a mob is gonna spawn. So right now, before the mob aggroes me, I'm just gonna use a Radinax. And I'm just gonna move on to the next part of this quest. It's pretty squishy, but it's completely unnecessary to kill. You might think you have to kill it for the quest, but you don't have to. So here's an elite mob. I don't really know what the deal is with this mob, by the way. If you're supposed to be able to, I mean, for classes that are not as good as Demon Hunters to solo mobs, I don't know if it's gonna be a little bit hard. And also if you are not as good geared as me, because it's an elite, it has 45k HP. The extra spell you have doesn't really do too much, especially on single target, but I mean, for me, obviously it's really easy, but I guess it doesn't really do too much damage. So anyway, I'm looking to finish up the Spirit Tenders right here, and then I'm gonna move to the next little area where the last portal is, or Dream Shrine. So there you go. You see that's... Oh, I'm not done yet, so one more, which I see up here. And I'm also sorry, guys, a bit, because I noticed in these VODs that I'm lagging a little bit. Like, for me, the beta is really weird. Like, I'm FPS lagging way more here than I do on retail. And I'm also playing with about 150 MS pretty much, because the servers are hosted in NA and I'm from Europe. So it's kind of hard to... You're gonna see at some points, like when I'm fell rushing, it doesn't go off for some reason and stuff like that. Can't just play completely perfect with this high MS as well. So anyway, I'm done with these quests. I use my last Radinax to get back down, pick a new one, because the next quest is gonna be the same. That you're gonna have to go up to the same place again outside the town. So you're gonna see it right here. So now I'm using Gunshoes again to get back out. And now I'm gonna go to that Dream Shrine that I clicked the first time. And you can start at each of them, it doesn't matter which one. But the reason you want to start here is because you're gonna kill a Vision of Deathwing in here. So you want to start the quest right here. So don't go to the other place first, you start it here. Go into the Dream, kill him, blow everything. I'm getting meta of cooldown right here, which is perfect. So I can meta right there, just nuke him down super fast. So now you're gonna see me use another Radinax. So at this little place, you're gonna rescue 6 whelps and kill 10 mobs. So you're gonna see me do while I'm still on the Radnax. Kind of big pull. Just pull as many mobs as possible, go down to the middle. And I'm just gonna be AoEing them down, and then run around and rescue the whelps. I did kind of a big circle, so I think a couple of them reset, but I still think this is 7 mobs, right? Nah, 6 mobs. But it's good, still good if you can do it in 2 pulls. I think I recall that I actually do it in 3 pulls here, which is kind of unfortunate, but it's good enough. I feel like the most important part to speed up this quest is just that you just never go to the other dream shrine where you can also enter, because over there the only thing you have is mobs. These whelps are only in this little area, if I recall correctly. So you just want to start with the place with Deathwing, blow him up. Anyway, here I got the last 4 mobs that I need. Just gonna finish up the whelps after this. And you don't have to go out from the dream shrines, you can go all the way back into the town. And unfortunately here the mob is patrolling right past these 2 whelps, so he's decided to kill it. So they were done, and we did this quest really fast as well. I noticed, like, during my first few playthroughs that this part, like these 2 sets of quests that I just did around this town, was really slow. But I've really learned how to do it fast now with the Radinax and the gun shoes and the correct movement. So anyway, once you turn in these quests, you have to talk to this little fairy girl, and you're reliving Ysera's last memory, which you probably remember as a quest from Legion. So once you get into this, you get a spell on your bar that I've already used now, that I used instantly, where you fly down to the temple to kill mobs and stuff. So anyway, what I've noticed here, you do not have to use spell number 1 and spell number 3. What you can see on an HP bar is that when you use spell number 2, the breath, you do damage to yourself. Look at my HP bar now, you're gonna see it go down like really fast. Like there is lost 10% from 1 use. You do not have to do this bonus objective thing to kill the mobs. You're not gonna be able to anyway. I remember before I realized how the breath works, I was just trying to do it properly and killing as much stuff as possible. But I've also noticed that it feels like the more mobs you hit with the breath, the more damage you do to yourself. There I hit quite a few and I just lost 15% of the HP. So the whole goal here is just to die as fast as possible. And if you just ignore using number 1 and 3, more mobs is gonna survive, so they're gonna passively do damage to you. I use number 2 right off cooldown. So I think this is like very important to know. That you basically don't want to use spell number 1 and 3, you just want to spam number 2 and just use breath and try to hit as many mobs as possible with the breath. So there you see, I finished that quest really fast. Now I'm back here. So now once again, it's important with the movement. You're gonna see me delete the Radinax and I'll pick a new one. And now I'm just taking a route around the town. Start with the gun shoes. Here's a quest item you have to use. I use it on my bar. You have to use it exactly at the position I'm right there, at the arrow. And unfortunately I get dazed here, which kind of sucks. So anyway, what's good with gun shoes is that you don't have to cancel it to use the quest item. Unfortunately now, you're gonna see I'm gonna use the Radinax, but you have to cancel the Radinax to use the quest item. Oh yeah, and I also I'm also a little bit stupid here. I forgot to take the other quests that you have to take, but that doesn't really matter too, though, because you don't do them at the same time. So this other quest, there's stealthed mobs here that you use the macro. You have to find these stealthed mobs and use it, and they will spawn. And it is important. There's a couple of spots where you can trigger 2 of them at the same time. So right here in this pool I'm right now, you can see, boom, I got 2 mobs at the same time. So I've been trying to find all of these spots. This is the only spot I've found right now. Or I have managed to get 2 at other spots too, but it seems a bit random depending how they patrol around. But if you go into that little pool I used to were at, you can always get 2 at the same time. So that's why I used to path around in this way. That is, go instantly to there, and then I just finish it up here in the middle, pretty much. So here I have the last one. And we're finishing off that pretty fast as well. So we're at 4 hours playtime right now. And we're almost done with the zone. So once more, here you need more Radinax, because you're gonna move out here, turn in a quest to a guy up here, and then you're gonna go back down all the way again. So just go up there, turn it in, use the second Radinax. Gonna be going to pick up a new one pretty soon. And the reason I'm not turning in right here is because you see the circles on the ground give different buffs. The one where I came from, the red circle gives damage, and the second one I walked on gives you, I think that, so you get a healing over time effect on you. So once I got the new quest now, you have to kill 20 mobs here. This quest is so annoying to do as a melee if you're solo, because obviously they're all aggroed on different places, and I can't really do anything about that to pull them together. There's also elite mobs, and there I went Pepega, I didn't interrupt Fear. I think it was called Manifest Fear or something, the cost. So you want to interrupt that, I didn't, because I'm stupid. But yeah, so what you want to do here is you just want to try to kill all the non-elite mobs, but unfortunately you can't really, like, you can't just do that, because you're just gonna have to run around. So it's better to just like try to kill these mobs as you go. The rot mages are a bit squishier than the annihilators of the elite mobs, at least, so that's something worth mentioning. So once again, she tried to fear, manifest dread, it's called. Just interrupting it, killing her before it finishes. But yeah, this quest is pretty slow when you're doing it solo. If you're doing it as a group, you would probably do it like 4 times faster. You could just like spread out, kill a few mobs each, and it's gonna be done in no time. But yeah, for me it's just, I just have to deal with the situation as good as possible. So anyway, this last circle here, the speed circle, it doesn't give you a buff, if I recall correctly. It just buffs you up as you... Actually, it does give you a buff, so I stand corrected. But it doesn't give you any combat power, so it's not as important as the other ones. Because you can die here if you're solo as well. So anyway, once you turn that quest in, this spawns 2 elite mobs. They spawn at random HP every time, so you have to figure which of them have the lowest HP and you have to kill it. Doesn't matter which one. So I was lucky he was pretty low HP, the guy, when I spawned. Turn it in, pick a new really nice control gem, and here is a very, very important part to give you some extra speed. So you have to escort these mobs through like half the zone pretty much. And what you do is you want to run up here, because you have a side quest on the path that they walk on. And you do not have to be close to them as you're escorting them. So you just want to do these quests that you're gonna see me take right here. And these quests are so annoying, especially as Demon Hunter. You're gonna see why. I'm gonna explain it right here. You have to release 10 fairies. They are on the ground. You have to rescue them. And you have to kill these Shimmerbath Ritualists, which drops an item that gives you... Or you use it and you can double jump to fly. And that stuff is really annoying as a Demon Hunter, because how your double jump works and the glide and stuff. But what I noticed as a Demon Hunter is that, so you see I got the item, putting it on my bar right here. If you're not in combat, you cannot be in combat, is what I've noticed, for it to activate. And as Demon Hunter, basically what you have to do is just spam click your double jump, and it's gonna work. So you you're gonna see it work here. Oh, I'm just putting this one first. But yeah, so anyway, so the first quest is rescue the mobs. Second quest is you have to fly up in these little things in the air. And you're gonna loot, you're gonna see it in a second. You're gonna loot 5 things up there. Unfortunately here I'm in combat, so I can't fly up, so I have to kill this one. So yeah, here I fly up, and you see I loot these things that are laying in these little things. And then I have to fly up in the air, in the tree houses. So I put that on my bar. I gotta explode 5 altars. So this quest is like, I was just like, what the fuck is going on? Right when I did it the first time. And it's kind of slow. You're probably not gonna be able to finish it before the escort is completed, but this is way better than not doing anything at all. So you want to do these 2 quests basically. And you can see I'm getting there. Almost done. I think the escort quest will be finished in not too long. You see I'm looting some more of these items that makes you fly, and you can use that to fly all the way to the quest giver at the end of the escort once you're done here, which is really good as well. So yeah, you're just gonna see me finish this quest. It's like the mob dens is kind of bad. It's usually pretty bad in these treehouse places, and the fairies you have to rescue are really spread out as well, which is kind of unfortunate. But yeah, you've seen I've finished the escort quest now. But I'm slowly but surely getting done here. And even if you're doing it a little bit slow, I still think it's worth it to finish. Because basically the only additional time that you're quote-unquote wasting is the time you spend here after the escort is done. Because obviously while the escort is happening, you're just wasting time if you don't do anything. So you could basically say that I'm doing these quests in about 1.5 to 2 minutes, which is really fast for 2 quests. Even though the quests take longer, but like I just said, half of the time I spend here is during the escort time. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And as you can see, I'm done with the altars. Now I just have to find the last few fairies. They're really spread out, like I said. So you just have to fly down here. If you don't find any up there, you're gonna see a few pretty close together. And as you can see, I still have 2 of the items that makes you fly. So I'm gonna pop one of them. Or I actually have one active already. So I'm just gonna fly around a bit. So now I need 2 more. I see one right here. But yeah, so this quest, like if this quest were not in this position, I would never do it, because this is super slow quests. But since you do most of it during the escort, it's not too bad. But yeah, you just have to make sure. This is like one of the parts where you just have to do it as fast as possible. I don't think it's possible to get it done before the escort is done, but yeah. Anyway, here you see I'm flying over to turn it in. It's actually pretty good that you can fly all the way over there, since you fly super fast. You're supposed to be like thrown off when you fly into other zones, or like out of that quest area, but it works to fly all the way here. Maybe it's because of my MS, I'm not quite sure, but yeah. So anyway, you turn in that quest, and then you have to go down here to the Groove of Awakening to turn in the quest to the Winter Queen. And I'm sorry, I'm having a little bit of lag here, I see in the VOD. I can't do anything about it, unfortunately. Yeah, like I said, like beta servers have just not been good to me. Super high MS, more FPS lag. I generally don't have any FPS lag, so yeah. So anyway, you saw I turned in the quest. Then you have to wait for some RP, and then you take the new quest, and you have to talk to her and give her the message from Maldraxxus. So what I've noticed here is I've tried to go all the way to where you're supposed to turn it in, because you don't turn it in right here, you have to go back to the previous place. But I've noticed that you can run away, kind of, as far as you see me run here. I don't know if you could run a little bit further, but that's not really going to make a big difference. Just going all the way up here is like a good head start once you're going to run back. So obviously you see here, I'm waiting for the RP to finish, and then I'm just going to use Radinax to quickly move back. And once that's done, we are going to be done with this zone. And yeah, you see, we're gonna ding 59 right here. And it's like the point where you start over leveling in this zone and get reduced XP is 59. So in that sense, I'm dinging at a really good time, because I'm just on the edge of over leveling, and right now I'm finishing the zone, so that's really good. So, we're hotstoning back to Oribos, and we're just about to end this episode. This was a bit shorter than the last couple of episodes. We're only on 26.5 minutes right now. There's a little bit of RP left before we're done, but once we fly over to Revendreth, I have a hard time pronouncing that, then I will end the episode. So yeah, once you get back to Oribos, this is the shortest intermission between zones. You literally just go back, turn in the quest, and you instantly get the quest to go to Revendreth. So once again here, as I'm switching zones, my Azeroth autopilot starts working again, I think. Just auto-cancelling cinematics, and I think auto-talking here, yeah. Alright, so thank you guys for watching this episode, and I will be back in the final part 8. So thanks a lot for watching. Goodbye.